Happy screen time, Datamine, and thank Mimikyu for subscribing for daily Pokemon Sleep Row Tomfoolery. Today we've updated our games, so we have the Datamine. And there's one important thing I think you should know before you get into the Halloween event next week, and I'm just going to start with that thing. It's about Mimikyu. Mimikyu requires 16 pips to recruit, so there's a decent chance that you won't catch one, but at least he still will be showing up after the event as well. I suppose if a hungry one came, you could use an Ultra Biscuit on it and then a Poke Biscuit, and that would catch it. But most of us don't just have those lying around, so anticipate that however long it took you to catch an Absol is how long it's going to take you to get this guy, although you should at least see it more often this week. And I guess the Datamine will also be telling us how likely it is that we're going to find him in comparison to those other Pokemon. But generally speaking, the new Pokemon are rarer, but honestly, does it matter how rare it is? You either want to catch one or you don't, right? So just go live for it. We'll talk about the other things that are in the Datamine as well, but honestly, that's the main thing to be aware of going into next week. Here's what you don't need to know. Mimikyu will be busted, but not busted like how Nerth says busted. Like every time it has a great success in its skill, it's going to fall over, and in the game it's literally called busted. It will wake up every day with its disguised form on, but after it has a great success on its skill, it will be in busted form for the rest of the day. And you heard that right, that is once per day, not once per between naps. I think we can assume that at 4 a.m. is when that will reset every day. I didn't see anything about that in the Datamine notes. Also, I just looked it up and Mimikyu is rarer than Absol, at least on Greengrass Isle. The new Halloween Pikachu is the same as the old Pikachu, just with a different color hat, which I'm still bitter about, but also Halloween Pikachus are now a little bit faster, so if you already have one, congrats, it's faster now. There is more information about the Moonlight skill for Umbreon, and it is not as good as Energizing Cheer as far as its bonus heal. And in the coming days, you will see people asking the question, is Mimikyu worth it? And although we've learned more about the berry counts in the main skill, we still don't know Mimikyu's skill trigger rate, or all of the details about how the skill works, or how often the great success happens. So it's going to be a while if we can answer that question. But here's my suggestion on that note. It's a rare Pokemon, and if you want to complete your Pokedex, you're going to need to catch one at some point. So catch one. Oh, and it is a skill specialist, so if its nature is main skill up and it has a skill trigger M in there, then use it. And if it doesn't, it might be worth it still, but I don't know, and we won't be able to answer that question for a while. We have the reward information for the missions for Halloween as well. It's pretty much standard for what you'd expect from one of these event weeks. You're going to have to get up to Master 1 on Greengrass Isle. You'll have to use 15 biscuits, 100 candy, 7 incenses, and those are the only things that you might have to push for. Everything else you'll probably get along the way. There will be a Halloween Pikachu incense, which guarantees the new hat Pikachu, as well as a Mimikyu incense, 5 Poke Biscuits, and 25 Handy Candies. That's Handy Candies SS. Just one S, I just got excited. And that's about it, so I guess we don't need to do anything to prepare for Halloween, really. You either have some good Pokemon that are ghost type to use or you don't, and unless you're really new to the game, you shouldn't have any trouble completing the missions and collecting all the rewards, which in my opinion makes it a great event. The event should be fun, not stressful, right? But if you want to catch a Mimikyu, you're gonna be stressed, like hardcore. I'm so sorry to tell you this. Now, before we move on, there's one thing I do want to go check. I don't have an Umbreon to show off, but we can go and just verify that with this update, you will see those new skills. So we're going to pull up Bandit, my Houndour. Bandit is named after the dad from Bluey because he's blue. And yeah, we've got Charge Strength M, and because I have a fast guy, he'll probably use it. So if I ever go to Snowdrop Tundra again, I'll be sure to pull this guy out. And okay, one more thing. We are getting closer to the end of the month, which means that the shops will reset. So if you have anything that you want to buy, make sure you go and buy it before it resets. I don't know about where you are, but my shop actually resets early. So like on October 31st, I don't actually know what time, but sometime during the day it just suddenly resets. So I'm going to be weighing out my purchase options through the weekend. But yeah, just a quick reminder on that note since you're here to be prepared. Session 451 is action-packed with 100 sleep score. I made sure to go to bed early last night because I think I'm getting some symptoms of something. And at some point in the night I woke woke up with a kid kicking me in the back, so I knew I was gonna get dozing sleep. Unfortunately, that means our gamble of using Shinx and Sense is more likely to be problematic because with all of the spawns we have, we're almost guaranteed to get at least one Bulbasaur. Although right now, all we know is that there is one Ekans, and I just wonder, like, why does the camera so inconsistent in this game? It's seriously crazy. We've got Venusaur, Absol, Ivysaur, Swalot, Pinsir, Bulbasaur, Shuppet, and our final incense for a Shinx. So our targets are between Bulbasaur and Shinx, but of course we've got to see what's hungry. That might help us make our decision. I am still undecided on if I want to run a good camp ticket for next week, but we'll talk more about that on Saturday. What? Hungry Venusaur? No. Hungry Pokemon are supposed to make our decision easier, not harder. This is so hard to count. Pro tip, memorize that that's 20 and then you can just subtract to know that it's 9 pips and 11 remaining. First thing in the morning, you do not want to be trying to count this like I did. Oh, here's the problem. My premium biscuit can finish off that Venusaur, and it could solve all of my honey problems forever in a moment. Meanwhile, we have a Shinx that I want to catch and a Bulbasaur that I want to catch in case Bulbasaur solves our honey problems in the future. So it's a good thing I didn't buy all those handy candies from the shop because I'm about to just drop some Poke Biscuits here. So let's go make some bad decisions probably. We'll see where this takes us. So here is how I approached this recruitment session. My thought was, let's first give a biscuit to Shinx. If it happens to crit, then we can try to get it 2 more biscuits. If it doesn't, then we have the premium biscuit that we can use. Well, that didn't happen, obviously. So next I said, let's go try to do the exact same thing on Bulbasaur. And hopefully we can get a early crit, which we didn't. So where has all the luck gone? Alright, obviously right now I can choose between Bulbasaur and Shinx with the premium bonus biscuit. Ivysaur, sorry, you're not hungry. But the allure that my honey problems could all be solved in a single day with a single biscuit, it was too alluring. I had to go for the Venusaur. It's 1 more pip than we need, but guess what? Let's do it. We're doing it. I mean, obviously it's too late to go back at this point, but that's putting a lot of eggs in one basket, or honey in an... oh no, that joke got away from me. It rolled away like an egg. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're going to keep feeding biscuits to Shinx and Bulbasaur, alternating between them, hoping that we can get a crit before we get up to the 3 each. But we are just completely gambling, and this is probably a bad idea. It is very unlikely that these Pokemon are not going to get full at some point, but if you enjoy gambling, then you'll enjoy this moment in the video. How do you think these other Pokemon feel just watching me as the researcher, just walking back and forth, holding a bunch of biscuits in my hand, and I'm like, who should I feed? How about you, and you, and how about you again, and you again, and you again, and you again. Like, if I was one of those Pokemon, I would start attacking. I'd be like, I'm fed up with this. I mean, I'm not fed up with this. Oh, and the worst possible case scenario, we got 2 all fulls with 2 pips left. So now they're guaranteed catches the next time they come, but we don't want them to show up hungry. And I figured we'd probably try to catch a Shuppet at some point next week, so I went ahead and primed it with 1 single biscuit, which got us a mission complete, but mostly I'm just feeling depressed right now. But maybe that Venusaur is epic, so let's go find out. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to come up with a pun for Venusaur. Venusaur. We are going to send out the Shinx candy because it's still new and people still want new stuff, and it's the last Shinx candy I'm gonna send out for weeks and weeks and maybe months. And we're probably not gonna see another Shinx for months. And I like those dream shards coming in. Okay, the moment of truth. My head hurts trying to come up with one. My brain is sore. Alright, well, let's go pick up some handy candies. Don't forget that you'll still have regular missions during the Halloween event as well. And just hope that they overlap, because if you're going to spend 15 biscuits for Halloween, you're going to want to get that 15 biscuit mission in your regular missions as well. At least the shop is going to reset, so you should have more if you're already out for the month. Just be careful about how you use them with Mimikyu. Alright, I'm trying to distract myself because I just don't want to be disappointed again, because I already knew this happened from this morning. Alright, so we didn't get honey anything. I just wanted AAX. Helping speed is good. Everything else is dumb. And a nature that doesn't matter for a Venusaur. I looked this up and here's a fun fact. If we could find a Venusaur, an ingredient up or a speed of help up nature, a level 1 Venusaur would bring in more honey than this guy. Let's do this again sometime. Happy researching.